Hi everyone and welcome to Jab and Move with your host Stephen, and today we're going to be talking about two fights, one potentially happening and another in the offing. Obviously the one potentially happening will be Fury versus Joshua. It's been the big news this week, along with Dubois versus Usyk for the undisputed. What is happening with the heavyweights? Are they going to be fighting each other, and is Fury finally coming back from his retirement? And the next one would be Inoue versus Cardenas. That's in Vegas this weekend. I'd absolutely implore anyone who wants to see a Inoue fight, please watch it. He is a phenomenal fighter, and I think it's going to be a cracking fight as well. Obviously record it if you don't want to stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning to watch it in Vegas. So let's get straight to it, guys. Let's get to Fury's announcement. Well, he hasn't announced yet really, but he's hinted at coming back now and fighting, and we all know where he's going to go. We know where this path leads. It's been the same thing where this path was going to lead the second he finished that 12th round with Usyk and lost again for the second time. It was always going to be Joshua. I think, again, it's important, it's intriguing to see the decline of both fighters, because for me, it still sells out Wembley. It still catches the intrigue of the world with their names, and it still sells a phenomenal amount of pay-per-views. It's going to be the biggest fight of the year if it happens. I know we've got Dubois versus Usyk with undisputed, and for me personally, that would be the biggest fight as a fan of boxing, but for the casuals, Fury Joshua all day long will be the biggest sellout for this year. It will eclipse anything we've seen so far and anything that we'll see throughout the year. So what do we think would happen? My early predictions with this are quite interesting. I think both of them have declining. We've seen that already. We've seen Fury decline, not even just against Usyk. We've seen him against Ngannou. We've seen him with Chisora. And I would probably say the peak of his power is Dillian White. That was the last fight we've seen him at his absolute peak. Since then, we've seen a gradual decline of Fury and his powers. With Joshua, he's been declining now for a couple of years. Yes, he had those wins against Franklin, Volin, Helenius and Ngannou, not in that order. But again, in all due respect to those fighters, they weren't live wires, they weren't championship contenders, they weren't people who were going to put it on Joshua. And the second he got in the ring with someone who's going to put it on him, it absolutely crumbled in Daniel Dubois. And again, we've seen what happened last September with Daniel Dubois. So what do we think is going to happen here? Like I said, my only predictions from me personally right now, before anything else comes out and we start seeing the fighters, start hearing things from them, I think Fury wins. I think he dances around Joshua and still has that ring craft that will keep him at bay and be able to put on the pressure on Joshua. Yes, they are both excellent heavyweights at what they do. I think Joshua is a bit of a flat track bully. He will go in and he has those power punches. Maybe had those power punches, we'll have to see. And I think Fury, for him, yes, he's had a bit of knockout power, but he is a pure boxer through and through. And for the guy, the size of the guy, he was phenomenal on his feet. Now that has waned a bit with the age. But what we need to see from him is if he comes in Wilder 2 vibes, then yeah, I think he's probably knocked Joshua out, let alone beat him. If he comes in Usyk 2 vibes, then it gets interesting. I think it really opens up to potentially a Joshua win. So my early thoughts are for Fury, but again, there's a long way to go yet, and I want to see how the fighters look closer to potentially the fight, which, let's face it, we all know is going to happen. They want 50 to 75 million pounds a fight. They ain't getting it from anywhere else. It's going to be from each other. So that's a quick thoughts on that one. What do you guys think? Do you think Fury is finally back? I think he never left personally, but what do you reckon? And if he does, is it going to be Joshua next, and who wins from that fight? Very quickly, I want to touch on the next big fight for me coming, which is this Sunday morning, Saturday night in Vegas, which is Inoue, the monster Inoue versus Roman Cardenas. It is a phenomenal fight. Cardenas is just outside the top 10 ranked. Obviously, Inoue is the undisputed champion of the bantamweight and actually 2-time undisputed champion of numerous divisions now. So he is a phenomenal fighter. He's in the top 3 to 5 of pound for pound greats running around right now. So what do I expect from it? I do expect an Inoue win. It's in Vegas. He's going to announce himself again. He's fought there about 4 years ago, but before that, since then it's all been in Japan. And I think before that was all in Japan. So this is really the announcement of Inoue to the worldwide casual fan and stage. The boxers will know, and the boxing purists and fans would know, but many casuals will not have a clue who he is, but he's a phenomenal fighter. And for someone at 122 pounds of bantamweight, his knockout ratio, I think, is 90% of all his fights, which is ridiculous for someone of that size. You don't get that kind of percentage conversion in knockouts for someone that size and in that weight class. So What do I think is going to happen? Cardenas is a good fighter. He's a solid fighter, but he's going to pose problems for Inoue. He's a tough customer. He's going to pose problems, but I think in the end, the skill and the pure just wear and tear and power of Inoue will tell. I think it'll actually go to points. I think Cardenas will not do himself any harm. It's a bit of a rocky story, really. I think he's an Uber driver at the moment. He's been pulled up for this fight last minute, and he's going to go for it. He's been ready, and he wants to show that he can have a crack at the Undisputed and prove himself as one of the best fighters in the world in the bantamweight division. So I think it's going to be a really intriguing fight, and Cardenas is definitely going to fight on the inside a bit more. He's got a really good right hand, which Inoue's got to be very careful of, but Inoue likes to tear up too. So I think we will see it go the distance. I think we'll see Inoue on points, but by quite a large difference. I think we're going to see Cardenas on the floor 2 or 3 times, and Inoue will take the victory. But let me know what you guys think of that. Like I said, the big one, Fury returning with Joshua. Is it the battle of the losers? Is it the battle of the decliners? What do you think is going to happen there? I call it the redemption fight between the two, but let me know what your thoughts are of it, guys. And if you can, tune into Inoue versus Cardenas. It's going to be a great fight to watch. You're going to see some unbelievable boxing skill from Inoue, and you're going to see some absolute grit and determination from Cardenas along with boxing skill. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Who do you think wins? Do you want to see Fury back? And if Fury versus Joshua, who takes the gold? Let's put it that way. We all know how he feels about Olympics. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I look forward to hearing from you. Take care. Bye.